Hello, hi. We have work to do today. I may or may not have rested quite a bit during the day, so today's stream gotta be productive. But yeah, welcome on in. Hi, Kay. Welcome, welcome. Guess whose dumbass was forced to stream? Did you go live? Interesting. How'd that go? Hi, Orca. Welcome on in. No, gonna do it sometime this week. Okay. Do you have a schedule? I forgot how to speak. A schedule set. Sorry, that took me a couple tries. I feel a bit phlegmy, so I apologize for that. I'm curious. What made you decide to stream? You say forced into it. Oh, my phone is slipping. Whoops. Hold on. I don't have like an arm for this phone. Literally, it's shoved into a cut up cardboard box that's wedged between my two screens and kind of just like held together between them so it doesn't fall down. So not the most ideal phone stand, but it's free and it works. And that's how we do things here. Hi Akza, welcome on in. Ooh, um we worked on something pretty interesting off stream. So, Hotshag, make some shorts for me. Hold on, let me see if I can find this. Okay, so he makes some shorts for me. All right. Now, going through those shorts and finding the clippable moments is a lot of work. All right. We mentioned this last time. Now, to make things easier, I actually have a marker that appears, top of the screen up there. See it? I'm pointing up there. Yeah. So when watching the VOD, you don't even have to watch it. Just skip through, fast forward it times 10 speed. Once you see the marker, okay, something has happened here. Now, going through the VOD at whatever time speed is still work and takes time. Now, what do we do when we have a lot of manual labor and simple to do tasks? We can't afford interns, even if they're unpaid. So, Hotshack actually made a bot. You just shove the VOD into it. It detects the marker wherever it appears, and it spits out timestamps. I want to see if I can screenshot this. No, streamer mode is on. Hold on. I've turned it off. And after it finishes running through the VOD, it spits out the timestamps of where all of the interesting moments are. So now that he has the timestamps, he just needs to open the VOD, see the topic, decide, can I make a short out of this? And then proceeds. I thought it was pretty cool. He was doing it on his stream, by the way. So, in case you guys are interested. So yeah, any tips? I would say the number one thing, as a very professional streamer can, is just learn to talk even if no one is talking. If you can do that, you're all good. It's actually, I see like a lot more people talking about it recently, and it's just simply when you're starting out a stream, if you have no one to yap with, treat it like a let's play video from like 2015, you know? Think PewDiePie, Markiplier, you know, that kind of stuff. Even though there's no chat for them to bounce off of, they're still talking, they're still yapping, and yeah. But anyway, I wanted to show off this cool thing that Hotshag made. Sorry about that. I was supposed to mute the mic first. Odie, I'm tempted to brute force the. I've never played Elden Ring. I don't know what any of those words mean. Maybe one day. You know, I've actually wanted to play it. Yeah, sorry. I wanted to play it for the longest time. Didn't have a strong enough PC, and then I got one. No longer had the time to actually play games. My quote unquote gaming time is an hour or so of like Helldivers. And that's mainly because my room is cold and it makes my PC run hot. And since it's a small room, it warms up the entire place. My own personal heater. Endgame boss with 100 and. Sorry, 18,000 health. I've played things like Genshin where if you combine like two or three ultimates, you can get like 50,000 damage. So I don't know if that's really I don't know what the average damage is. That's not good. But what have you guys been up to? I realize I have very strong NPC energy. I wake up, I do my work, I go to bed. Sometimes people show up, they request items, and I say, this thing will take this much time to be forged. Please return later. And then they do. I give them the stuff. And then we part ways. Yeah. I'm not a very interesting cat. I did, however, I was bored and playing around with like VTube Studios. I made this. I am now disguised as human. Can you tell? No magical cats here. I am John Human. This is just a stick I found that I thought was pretty cool. It took me like 5 minutes to make. It was kind of hard to get like a good shade of color for the hair because you can only like multiply the color. So it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it because it has like the purple color and you're kind of just adding something on top of it. So that's why it's like very saturated brown. I tried making it a bit darker and a little bit desaturated and it ended up looking weird. So yeah, all I need are like normal human clothes and yeah, my disguise would be perfect. Anyway, that's what I did today instead of doing actual work. Average damage is 600. That gives me a good point of reference. I decided to start posting on socials a bit more. Now, I haven't done it in a while, so I do have like a backlog, well, quote unquote backlog of showcases. So yeah, I think I'll just slowly start posting them over the course of a while. I started with Reddit. Twitter, I think I want to just reserve for like fan art. Maybe Blue Sky. We'll see. I think the smile is a bit too wide. The eye's too thick? No, it should be fine. So average damage 1000. I was like, that's a lot of damage. Oh, hmm. I think each eye is a bit too small. I think that's way more accurate. But I don't like it. I think I prefer this one. The dog be loafing? Yeah. I guess you could say we loafing. I will never stop making that joke. Ooh, but the weather's been changing here. Um, I went outside. Now, I came here in the summer, so I was used to like the sun setting at 9 p.m. I went to the store, walked in, full of sunlight in the sky. Ish. It was at like 6 p.m. Finish shopping, step outside, pitch black. It is dark. And I was like, oh. Because I walked to a store that was pretty far away, and I'm like, now I have to walk home in the dark. I considered taking an Uber, but I'm like, nah, I'll be brave. Besides, it's a bit of a small town. You should be safe. But then again, could never be too careful. Maybe one day I will play Elden Ring, so I can understand what you're talking about. We're missing the eyebrows. Yeah, these are the same color. Hmm. Sorry, I am logging in quite a bit today. I apologize for that. You know how everyone says AI is taking over everything, and it's all doom and gloom. Today I saw a very, very new, never seen before use case of ChatGPT. Right. So I was talking to one of my friends, and she was complaining about like this guy she's talking to who was like kind of annoying, right? And she's like, we were having an argument, and I didn't really want to talk to him and think about it, but at the same time, I wanted to win. So I just put everything he texted me in ChatGPT, and I let it make all of the arguments for me. Automation has come far. I thought that was wild. South Park did that about 5 years ago. Really? This is one of my normal human friends who barely uses the internet. In fact, I'll find the scene. Wait, can I find it? Yeah, with the early ChatGPT. ChatGPT has been around for like 5 years. That can't be right. When was ChatGPT launched? 2022. Oh, that nearly gave me a heart attack. I thought I was old. Time is slipping by. Oh, sorry, I was looking for the South Park thing. I got distracted. Let's see if I can find it. How would I describe the scene? South Park ChatGPT romance. Okay, I'll watch this after stream. ChatGPT romance, South Park comedy is the best style for YouTube and video. Oh, okay, okay. I was just thinking, ChatGPT, and I just started typing in the keywords. Yeah, I found the same video. I'll give it a watch and send it to my friend. Because I thought that was funny. And to be fair, one of the one of the justifiable use cases of ChatGPT, in my opinion. Because see, that friend is too polite to block people. Probably one of the first instances of The Simpsons didn't do it first. Ah. Is this Simpsons still going? I thought like the show died or something. I don't know. Usually, if I don't see like memes or literally anything about something on the internet, I just assume that it's no longer there. Is Simpsons still going? Mm, it'll air till 2029. Currently on 37th season. Ugh, that's a lot of TV. I think I've watched. Sorry, my phone keeps slipping down. I think I need to actually buy a proper stand for this. Okay, there we are. Yeah, I never really watched too much of it. I think like a few episodes would pop in on TV, I think, or I'd see memes about it or like clips. But that's about it. I did like the Simpsons movie. You know the one with the dome and the environmental disaster? Yeah, that one. That was a good movie though. It was a bit wild and nonsensical, but I guess all of them are. Adorable. I'm in a bit of a drought for TV shows. Lately I've just been watching Modern Family. It was uh it was pretty good, but I realized literally every episode I watch, I already know about like half of it simply through the use of like shorts. So I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. I do have some on this TV app, Ryan. So if I was desperately in need of something, I can like sift through there. Those are sometimes like someone recommends a show and it can sit on that list for like months, if not years, and then eventually I get around to actually watching it. Watch. I don't know how to pronounce that. What is that? Hmm. I'm seeing an MMORPG, but I don't think that's what we're looking for. Hmm. What is the plot? Generally positive reviews. It's a French anime. Very D&D-esque. You mean fantasy or cuz I'm just looking through the stuff. I can't seem to find the plot. I'm looking at some Wikipedia. That's probably not good. I think this is the first plot point that I can see. Saving the world from an evil madman, not a problem for this kid. Finding his birth parents, that's the real adventure. So basically, every shonen anime protagonist. Fantasy and stupid fun plot. That's interesting. I like shows which they don't try to do the D&D esque style, but they accidentally end up doing it. I think my best example of this is Konosuba, right? Because you have these really powerful min-maxed people who are complete morons who end up saving the world purely by coincidence slash accident. Because it's not even like a, oh, we're super serious, where we've discovered their evil plot and we're gonna like do this. It's the kind of shenanigans like they're looking for the bathroom, accidentally find the Demon King's hideout. You know, that kind of deal. I think that's hilarious. Okay, I think we're done with the face with this one. At least for now. I do want to texture the bread a little bit. I can tell you one of the plot points. All right, go ahead. While I look for a brush that looks like bread. Hmm. No, I don't think that works. No, I don't like that one either. This may take a while. I'm not really familiar with the brushes. I rarely use this tool. This one could work. But I have an idea. Hmm. Guess that's okay. Hi, Star Puppy. Welcome on in. We're baking a little loaf today. Gonna animate him like one of the little mascots here. Okay, so the plot of that story is pair of married merchants give a quest to take out a bad crow villain in exchange for a magic map to the group. They fight one of the group. They fight one of the groups is kidnapped, and the crow and the old man talk. Turns out the villain crow is one of the merchants who wanted some spice of life since he used to be an adventurer. Oh, so he got bored and decided to be a villain. The group fights the merchant, and the merchant praises them and is scared deathly when his wife shows up. Sounds hilarious. I might give it a watch. Akasa says, I have to transverse hell the Lake of Rod to get. Well, sounds rough, but I'll have to take your word for it. Oh, that's mad cute little loaf of you character. Yeah, this is a little mascot commission. So instead of making like a full model, some people want like little little mascots, or maybe it's like their chat, if they have a little model. Yeah. So this is one of them. I still have to figure out like the bread part, because they specifically said they want it to be like this. So when it looks to the right, it's shaped like this. When it looks to the left, it looks like that, which is a bit tricky from a rigging perspective. But we like a challenge here. But welcome on in. I'm just trying to figure out like textures. I wonder if I can just put this onto the face. Give him a little bit of a toasted expression. Yeah? I hate the Lake of Rot. Well, it's called the Lake of Rot, so I doubt it's gonna be a pleasant place to be. Again, might actually have to pick up Elden Ring. Okay, so for the lower loaf, I'm thinking of cheating a little bit. Because we might actually just be able to do that. Right? What if we deform it? Yeah, we could work with this in Live 2D. It won't be as warped. You know what? This actually works. Okay. The front part is lighted though, so we need to do that. Also, I realized as autumn is coming around, the air is way drier. And I know I've complained about this before. Hi, Ruby. But it keeps getting drier and drier. And I notice every time I go outside and I come back in, my throat feels very dry and I start getting all phlegmy. Which is why my voice feels a little weird. So I do apologize for that. I think I might invest in a little humidifier, not those big ones for the whole room, maybe just tiny USB one that I keep in front of my face while streaming. Anyway, I need to finish some commissions because a few of them I only get paid after they're done. So I find myself inspired to complete them. I say this because I realize there's a bit of a glitch in the way that I do things. So before, I would only ever accept payments through PayPal, right? It's all through Vigen and the platform, but at the end of the day, they use PayPal as well. Now, the way that one works is you make the payment, it goes through Vigen, and then comes to me. And I get it instantaneously, right? But I recently used Vigen's payment system, which allows people to pay with things like a credit card or Apple Pay or Swipe, whatever, right? With that system in mind, when they make the payments, the money first goes to PayPal, sorry, not, to VGen, and is only released, right? Once like the art is done, commission is complete, everything is sent, yada yada yada. So what I noticed I found myself doing is like, if I need a little extra money that month, anyone who paid using anything other than PayPal, right? I ended up just moving them up in the queue so I could finish it and cash in sooner. So I'm like, this could be. I mean, no one really knows what they're doing, but I'm like, this is a way to get like a free rush fee. You know, I came to this conclusion ages ago. I'm like, should I even mention this on stream? But I'm like, most of the people who commission me have probably never seen a stream before, so it wouldn't be a big deal. But yeah, just sharing with the class. I noticed this. I think like a when did I start taking Vision payments? I think like a few months ago. I did have some a little larger unexpected bills to pay this month, for lack of a better term. So yeah, I just like sped run a few commissions, bumped up a couple which used the payment plan. Sorry, not payment plan. Vision payments. I took 8 Crimson Flash to traverse the Lake of Rod. I love getting one shot if despite negating 40% of the damage I take. I mean, that's essentially what Souls-like games are. You show up, you find a boss, it one-shots you, you come back again and again until eventually you defeat it without taking damage. I think the texture works wonders. That's blatantly incorrect. Well, I wouldn't know. I've only played Dark Souls 2 and only like a few missions. Well, not even missions. A few bosses. I didn't get too far. It was on a potato PC. Yeah, my old potato laptop. And the WASD keys were broken. So you can imagine I was not having a good time. I think he's coming along nicely. Did Ori say WASD, not WSAD? Yeah. Where I'm from, that's what people say. I've literally never heard someone say WSAD. Why is this warping? Oh, it's selected to that. Oops. Where I live, no one says WSD. We live, what's it called? People say WSAD. See, Star Puppy gets it. Because put it this way, it's like this. On the keyboard, it's WASD. So if you read it, right, you read, oops. You basically read it WWASD. The evil and scary void is here. You know what else is scary and evil? Me. Hi, Void. Welcome on in. Force of habit. I keep pressing dot three, which is this position, but I want to show off my jack o' lantern. I did a lot of we did it on stream. I took a lot of effort carving this pumpkin, and everyone is gonna see it. Yeah, but it's easier to say WASD here in Poland. I think they take about like the exact amount of vocabulary slash effort. But then again, I don't think it matters. It's one of those things, like tomato doesn't make a difference. As a Polish person, I can confirm it's easy to say WASD. You see that, Kay? The other Poles have turned against you. Maybe it's not even a Polish thing. Maybe it's just, the people you know. I don't know German, so I don't get it. But yeah, to me, it's always been WASD. Actually, I think I know where. Wasn't it in some games? They always say, hold on. Doesn't it say in some video games, right? Sorry, I was burping. Doesn't it say in some video games it just says WASD to move? I'm trying to look for an example of that. Well, this is not the one, but some games have like tutorial instructions that say like this. So, I think it's just growing up, I would just see WASD. So yeah, I think that's where it came from. I never realized until I was like thinking about it just now. I'm a little slow. Aren't we all in some aspects? I mean, look at Ori. Hey, he's turtle pace at catching hints. No comment. What I am good at is catching strays, right? So I'm someone who has a lot of girl best friends who always like vent to me and stuff. So literally, I always send them memes about it's like oh, when your friend is like venting and you end up catching strays. You know what she said to me today? She was complaining about like some guy, and she was like, what exactly did she say? Hold on, is my tooth messed up? Ow. No, it's normal. Anyway, sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, she's like complain about some guy. She's like, yeah, he's kind of like you, but like he has emotions, so he ends up being like a bit sensitive and this. Then I'm like, what's that supposed to mean? But yeah, that's an example of me catching strays. Oops, wrong button. I have interesting best friends. Apparently, you know what? It's okay. I'm not gonna finish that thought. Please don't get that close. I'm worried I'll get bit. Okay, first of all, I only have one pointy tooth. Is it broken or is it just me? No, I think I broke it. Because I was fixing the eyes. Hold on. You see? It's no longer broken. Huh. I think I put it on the wrong layer. Crap. Kind of goes into your bottom lip. It's actually supposed to be behind the bottom lip. Oh, let me show you guys. It's actually supposed to be behind the bottom lip. You're not supposed to see it. That's why it like fades away. Because it's clipped to the inner part of my mouth. Ow. Let me show you. It is clipped to this layer over here. See, inner part of the mouth. So when it's partially closed, this part actually shrinks. And yeah, sorry, it was supposed to be behind this lip, but when moving things around, yeah, I don't think I put it in its correct position again. Whoopsie. Also, every time I touch this model in VTube Studio, how do you say this? I realize just how old and janky it is. Kind of goes into your bottom lip. Yeah, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be behind the bottom lip. Like it's not supposed to stick out. So yeah, it gives you the impression of it like piercing the skin. I was noticing it like while talking. I have like OBS on the other screen and I see it very tiny and I'm like, that's new. Professional artist, exactly. It literally take like 5 seconds to fix. Two does the same thing on my model. Yeah. Let me try explain. Hold on, we're switching to live 2D. We've made progress with this piece of work, so that sounds like an insult. We made quite a bit of progress with this art piece, so we can afford to get distracted. Where is live 2D? Now you can like intentionally keep it on the outside. I just didn't. I tried to, but I realized it was a bit janky. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put you back in. Yeah, you see it like sticks out here. The reason is it's because it's supposed to be like this. But for some reason it's not. What it does is it actually clips to this layer. This is the inner part of the mouth. So you see when the mouth opens, it deforms like that. So the issue is, it, huh. See, this is the inner part of the mouth. It shrinks so the tooth doesn't appear outside of the mouth. Imagine having a model. I have PNG assets that'll never be used. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using a PNG, because to be fair, a model is nice to have. People see, ooh, that's pretty, and they click. But at the end of the day, people don't stay for pretty models. They stay for nice streams. Anyway, the solution to this would simply be that fixed. I just need to re-export this. Never be used because my laptop dies when I open OBS. You know, there's actually a... Oh, okay, sorry. I thought it meant like if you tried running something. Because there is actually a short that I have. Hold on, let me turn streamer mode back on. Where was I? I actually have... where is this? Helpful guides. I saw a short where you can like very easily set up like a PNG tuber in OBS. Actually, should we keep the fang on the outside? Because we can actually fix it. Now that I think about it. Hold on. Ow. I know rigging, so I can fix this. This model is really old. Like a lot of the techniques that I've done. Oh, hi, Goldie. Welcome on in. Ow. Hey, we're fixing my janky model. Because I realized the tooth was broken. Ordy, I'm old. I'm old at heart. I'm actually a zoomer. Janky? Yeah, janky meaning is like broken and kind of cobbled together. Like, for example, I messed up the order of like all of the layers to the point that this teacup is actually two different things. Like, even the pumpkin. Do you want to know why? Because if I make the pumpkin on. Where is this? If the pumpkin is on, it's actually two different layers, right? Let me show you. There's this chunk and this one. Now you might be wondering, why don't you just make it one layer? Simply put, I remove that. I messed up the layer so badly that it would just like kind of cut my arm here. And in order to fix this and make it properly, I'd have to change so much stuff to the point that I was like, this is terrible. I'm going to just sever this into pieces and call it a day. Actually, don't know if I like the tooth on the outside, now that I think about it. What do you guys think? Or maybe I'm just so used to it not being there. So it's like a combination of your progress as a rigger. Yeah, it's the reason I say it's janky and messed up is because this was made kind of haphazardly. So it wasn't done like it wasn't organized correctly. It's kind of just random it's literally just duct tape together, right? I think I hold on. I think there's a meme. Okay, this perfectly encapsulate what my model is like. So, if you organize everything, hold on, did I miss anything in chat? Or do you want to know how many Elden Ring wiki I have right now? I saw the post you put on Discord. I think it was like 100 and something. But yeah, if you make a model really well, everything is organized correctly, yada yada yada, it balances beautifully like this. This model is messed up and janky. It is basically like this, right? Mission accomplished, it works, but janky as hell. See what I mean? I don't know how to explain it in any other way, but it's still janky. The thing is, the end result, beautiful, doesn't matter. Makes no difference, to be honest. The only issue is when you go back in to change things and re-rig it, that's when like the problems occur. So yeah, I've decided I don't like the tooth on the outside. I don't think it's bad. I think I'm just used to it being inside. Maybe I should just keep it on the outside, you know? I don't like this though. I'll make it smaller. Yep, it's fine. Okay, I just need to re-export this and reset it up, and that takes ages. So yeah, I have to do that off stream. In the meantime, my tooth is just broken. It bothers me. So document something the past week, so I've been busy. What are you working on? If you don't mind me asking. I didn't notice that before. To be fair, I think the people who notice mistakes in art are the artists themselves. This model, basically, we could play a game. Spot what is wrong with this model. If you get like 10 plus errors or mistakes, uh, you win a prize. Because there are a lot of them. Hold on. Read Google Doc about a Roblox myth called Bloody Void. I don't know. Not much of a Roblox person, and I just realized I forgot to put my phone on battery saver mode. Hold on. Because it's not like my iPad, which the battery lasts forever, essentially. Okay, hold on. My soul has left my body for a second. Okay, low power mode. Yeah, it's just so that the phone lasts. Okay, we're back. Yeah, sorry. It's just so that the phone lasts the entire stream. Because I think the first time I used it, it drained like really, really quickly. And it's balanced, not falling down. Okay, perfect. You know what it's making me think of? They also get really warm. Yeah. I made the mistake of once I had like an 8 hour stream. We were playing Wild Mender with Feather, right? So it was like 8 hour stream, longest I've ever streamed, to the point where my iPad battery died. Now, what I did was I'm like, oh, okay, I can just charge it while streaming. Now the thing is, charging a battery causes it to get hot. Using the battery also causes it to get hot. So I think the combined heat of both activities, tracking my face and charging it, the iPad got so hot to the point that when I ended stream, I saw it had a warning that said, oh, charging has stopped because your device is like, you know, has really high temperature. I forgot what the warning said, but basically your phone overheated. So I was like, ew, that's never happened before. So yeah, I decided not to charge them while using them. In a pinch, right? Say I have extra long stream, I can just swap out my iPhone with the iPad and it works. So yeah, not gonna charge. Yeah, not gonna charge the phone while using it, but it's only a little warm. Yeah, because I just touched it now. Well, I guess the cold weather is also helping. I don't think it would have survived summer. Quite frankly, I survived summer. But yeah, when I saw the Roblox myth and stuff, I was like, I wonder what that's about. Then I realized, oh, that's basically Minecraft's Herobrine in ye olden times. Because, that wasn't a real thing. It was just a creepy pasta way back in the day. So I'm like, huh, the newer generations have their own myths. I need to see if I can run into that, or if my stand helps cool it down, or just keep my room cool enough. I think they are like heat sinks for phones. I've not seen these here, but in when I was in Malaysia, like gaming is like a major thing there. Literally every computer store, even phone store, would have accessories for gaming stuff. I think one of them that I saw was this little extension that it's basically like a phone case, but it's shaped like a controller, right? And you just fit your phone onto it, and A, you have a better grip, and B, I think a couple of them even have like fans on them so you can keep the phone cool while you're gaming on it. Because there, I think even if you don't have like a good gaming PC or something, if you have a smartphone, you can play something. Yeah, Goldie gets it. I remember I personally would play, I think, Mobile Legends. It's kind of like League of Legends, but like a much simpler, way easier version. It's all too expensive anyways. The gaming PC or the accessories? But yeah, cause oh, okay. I never actually needed one. I saw it as just one of those things where it's like, eh. I should just remembered I didn't use the fast charge since I have my phone connected to my PC through USB hub. If I remember correctly, I think USB from a PC is 0.5 amps, which is not a lot. If you're using it for streaming, it'll probably, I don't even think it'll keep your phone alive. It'll maybe slow down the rate at which it drains, which I don't know how healthy that is for the battery. Oh, but I noticed that, nah, if it's like a phone, it should be fine. I was thinking of the iPad. Sorry, I'm really used to like tracking my face with it. Anyway, ever since I got the phone, yeah, my iPad has just been for reading. It never leaves my bed. I've actually been reading, well, actually rereading, I think, this fantasy series. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It's the Kindle of today's world. Exactly. I bought it for art, and then I ended up never using it to actually draw something. It ended up just being a really expensive Kindle for me. I did use it in class a couple times. Yeah, but not really. It's just a glorified Kindle to me. Okay, this is what I'm reading. Hold on, I'm looking for a nice picture. The Lycanis trilogy. Super interesting. It has magic, it has fantasy, has deeper plots, has deities duking it out, people being tricked. You don't know who's on the right side, who's on the wrong one, even though you see many people's different perspectives. Good read. Totally recommend. Hello, King Ordikai. Hi, Maxine. We're yapping about books. Not really. I'm just recommending what I'm currently reading. And for once, it is not a Sanderson book. Yes, worst case scenario, I have two iPhones, so I could swap them out if I needed. Yeah, I think it'd be better if you keep both of them charged, and if one dies, swap them up, and the one that's been swapped out can be charging without tracking. It should keep the battery alive. Because you see a lot of streamers, they always complain about like their phone, the battery dying and swelling. I guess it's because if they're like a major streamer and they're charging like the phone while face tracking, it kills the battery way sooner. And then you get like the forbidden Capri Sun, where the battery is almost about to explode. So yeah, if you have a phone with the battery that's swelling, don't charge it. Try not to use it. Immediately get the battery replaced. Trust me. If those things pop, it is bad for everyone. It's a lithium battery. That fire does not go out even if you dunk it in water. It'll destroy the rest of the phone. The smoke it creates is actually toxic and is metal oxide. So it's also sticky if you touch it. I say this with from experience, right? Lithium battery fires, nasty. It's not worth it. You'll end up destroying a few $100s worth of, phone equipment. Whereas you could have changed the battery for like, well, depending on where you are, you could, I don't know, change it for like 10 bucks, 50. I don't think batteries are that expensive actually. The stuff in phone batteries is so dangerous. Hope they heed the warning. Exactly. It is take it from a little cat that worked in tech. Lithium batteries are basically explosives in your phone. That is why. Have you ever noticed when you're going through like an airport, they have very strict rules for like batteries, laptops, phones, whatever. Like if they could, they would ban phones, ban laptops. But they kind of understand that it's not practical. So instead, they just have strict rules on how they're handled. Because, yeah, those phones are. That reminds me of a video of someone who bit a lithium battery and it ignited. You know the theme, dumb ways to die? Yeah. Even if the fire didn't get him, that shit is toxic. But people are stupid. Why you buy that? People are dumb, right? Now, instead of going, is this a good idea? And then searching, is lithium batteries bad? Are they toxic? Are they dangerous? A simple Google search. They could have gone out into the street, grabbed a random person, be like, hey, I want to bite this battery. Do you think it's a good idea? Not a single person would say yes. But yet they didn't. Most phones are designed to work without a battery as long as you plug it in. So if you do have an iPhone only for Facecam and have it plugged in, then it's a smart idea to remove the battery. It could work. Although sometimes, right, depending on what app you use, you may draw more power than is being supplied by the charger. So your phone might actually like die. Because, for example, if you're charging it, maybe you don't have a fast charger, or you'll have like 1,000 apps, or something very intensive, like the facial capture software. Now, if it draws too much power that your charger cannot provide, it ends up taking whatever is deficient from the battery. So even though it says charging, your battery will still be going down, although at a slower rate. If you don't have a battery, uh, you might find yourself suddenly losing your phone midstream. Like it just like dies and then restarts because it's plugged in. First time you hear about Americans. I blame Rin and Stimpy for advertising the game. Don't pee on the electric friends. Ooh. Those are also the people who tried that have just simply failed high school physics. Hey, I'm American too. I'm not that stupid. I actually don't subscribe to the people from X country are like this, especially when it comes to like, especially Americans, right? America is massive. Some states are larger than other countries, right? They all have their quirks. But at the end of the day, a phone turning off from low power is not worth burning your house down. True, but the only time it will ignite, like there will be warnings, your battery will start to swell long before it ignites. But yeah, there are plenty of stupid people everywhere. That is true. Stupidity is not geologically based. This is the first time I've ever heard someone understand how massive America is. Exactly. Like put it this way, if you look at places in like Europe, right? They'd be like, "Oh, we are different countries. We have very unique. We have different cultures, even though they're basically within like a few miles of each other. The two countries together are probably the same size of maybe some states, right? But they see like the US and like, okay, this one thing is one country, so they are all the same. Don't forget Canada. Oh, Russia and China, yeah. Countries are massive, and they each all have like their own cultures, their own subcultures. Yeah. Even like even within states, right? I think that, like the state of New York is one of them. You'll see people who are like from New York City. They treat people who are even from within like the same state, like Brooklyn or wherever, very differently. Like you'd think they're talking about people from another country. Within like the same area, already there are major differences. So yeah, I don't think it's fair to kind of yeah, I don't think it's fair to assume kind of put them all in the same bucket is one way of putting it. Depending on the state you're in, you sometimes have a whole different dialect, city to city. That's insane. Exactly. Even like here in the UK, like just even different cities, people like judge each other a lot. New York has large cities and farm towns. Yeah, you know, when I was younger, I thought New York was only the city. I didn't realize it was a state. Cause yeah, I'm not from America or Europe or Western countries. Anything I knew about those places, I learned solely from TV. So I'd always in like a lot of movies and shows, they always say New York City, right? And sometimes they say the state of New York, but those words didn't mean anything to me because I didn't know what states were. Often I'm told I have an American accent and no one has ever said what state. They're like, I don't know, sounds American. Usually, I imagine they're non Americans saying that because I actually had that happen to me here, but I don't think it's because I sounded, I don't think I sound American. But I think to them that like he doesn't sound like he's British, nor does he sound like the other usual European people that I've encountered. So he must be from somewhere else. And then they look at me, and I'm a racially ambiguous person. You'll take a look at me and not know where I'm from. So he's like, maybe American. And then they straight up asked me, yeah, I've been asked what country I'm from, and I say I'm from America. Had someone tell me I'm lying because they never heard of I don't know how to pronounce that. And also, I've never heard of that. But then again, I've never heard of a lot of things. Before I went to study and live in Malaysia, if you gave me a map and pointed a gun to my head and be like, point at Malaysia, I'd just say, pull the trigger. I didn't know where it was. Mm, I don't know how to pronounce it. Sea of Creole, you should. I think it's spelled Creole. You should watch Swamp People. What's that? Okay, hold on. Oh, hi, Hot Shack. Welcome on in. Yeah, I googled it. It's like mixed people. But yeah, I'm like very, very mixed. So like some people be like, I'm basically you know what, never mind. Let me not finish that thought. Oh, we hot check. I showed off the bot that you made. Well, the screenshot of the timestamps. So yeah. I think it's pretty cool. And what productive art is this? Okay. We were doing productive art. See, we have this little bun, Okay, and then we switched to talking about books that I was reading. I am focusing, just not on the art. Honestly, same. Out of 20 plus people asking if I was American, I said I'm Kiwi. One person said I don't believe you sound American. That's the second most confused I've been. You know, I don't get the whole Kiwi thing. Could you explain that to me? I've seen some people refer to, New Zealanders as that, but I don't know where it originated from or if it's a mean thing to say. Because Kiwi birds are there. Oh, like the national bird? Okay, okay, that makes sense. I understand now. But hi, Feather, welcome on in. If you don't know where I'm from, you physically can't guess where I'm from, even with hints. Yeah, I think I've tried guessing, but I'm very bad. Is it a secret, or are you willing to lore drop on us? I don't mind telling. Ah, okay. I tried thinking about it for a while, and nothing came to mind. Oops. Yeah, I'm curious. I don't like guessing though. From Morocco? Ah. I'm not sure what a Moroccan accent is. So I guess that makes sense why. Honestly, it's wild to refer to a group of people with their national animal slash birds, like we call Australia's kangaroos or emus. I'm sure there are people out there who do, but I don't know if they mean that in a nice way. So yeah, I just wanted to like ask and see. That's why it's so hard. Yeah, I don't think I know any Moroccans. You've not made Kosh yet. He calls me Rue Chaser. See, in a joking context, right? You never know. Someone might have a laugh, but maybe someone is a very patriotic Australian. And yeah, you might say that thinking it's okay, and then you get decked. So I never just assume. I always like asking. What's this pin message? Oh, there is a charity stream coming up, and all of the details are pinned in the chat here. That sounds like a slur. A root chaser? Yeah, see, I don't know. So, I always like to ask. Oh, right. So, I talked about this thing like in the beginning, but more people have trickled in. So, if you look at the pinned message here, there is a charity stream coming up on the 25th of October. You can look at the timing and like translate it to your local time, right? But yeah, it is for the POTS Foundation. Let me put this on stream. So, these are the details. 12-hour stream filled with chaos, fun, and prizes. Do you know what one of those prizes are? You see the little mascots here, right? Right? If you have, I think, a $75 donation, you get one of your very own mascots. So if you want like a 50% discount on mascots, go ahead, show up for the charity stream, donate $75. I think there's a way to check. It's somewhere here, Ryan. But I think it's either 50 or 75. Donate to them, you get standard mascot commission from me, and all of the money goes to the POTS Foundation. So yeah, you donate to charity and you get cheaper commission. But yeah, Kiwi is a general term for people living in New Zealand because New Zealander is usually white people and Maori is people of color. Understandable. From you, how long is the wait list? Well, I guess it's like my normal commissions, so anywhere from 3 to 6 months. I have gotten better at speeding through commissions. Maybe sooner, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's like commissioning me normally. Try to get some spare money for it. Perfect. 75%, sorry, 75 USD. Got it. Also, officially, they're like, oh, they only have like one of them. But I'm like, hey, I can make as don't let that be a cap. If multiple people want the mascot and are willing to pay for it, I can make as many as needed. You know. And you might be thinking, but I'm not a VTuber. I'm not a streamer. I have no need for a mascot. You can pay for it. You can get it, and you can gift it to someone. I guess. Sorry, just checking on the cat. Get ready for 500 mascots. Mm, It may take a while for me to get through them, but yeah. If a person called themselves Mario without having any results on hand all the time, you're gonna get slammed. Understandable. But then again, sometimes you can't like tell just by looking at someone. Because you never know. Some genes are expressed a lot more strongly than others. Call myself a dumbass, is that good enough to be slammed? No. Ow. I've neglected building in Minecraft. I think one of the first decorative buildings that I want to build is Horny Jail. I think it'll be funny. For those who don't know, I'm on a Minecraft server with some very lewd people. So I thought it'll be funny to build giant, massive, evil empire, and my evil mission is to outlaw being lewd in any way. No hand holding, nothing. So yeah, I thought that would be funny. We got ahead. Got to head. Bye bye, lovely people. Have fun bullying Dense Orty. First of all, most people very polite. They don't bully me. Yeah, New Zealand is kind of racist. Yeah, I can understand that. Ow, horny jail, exact like an actual horny jail. I made the joke of like, oh, it is any act, no matter how small, if lewd in nature, punishable by death. Now, why so extreme? We used to chain people and throw them in the dungeon. Unfortunately, it became very full because too many people kept volunteering for that. So yeah, that'll be the lore. Anyway, it's just like a little fun server for, random shenanigans and nonsense. Freaks? Exactly. I'm not even kidding. Most people would probably enjoy that. That's the kind of server it is. Oh yeah, Feda, we broke 10,000 bricks thrown. Yeah, I think it was, yeah, Seller was here trying to make it like an even 10,000 so that he could get like a screenshot simply for like the milestone in like our little Discord here. Coincidentally, the message popped up automatically. But yeah, he wanted to get like exactly 10K just to have like a little nice screenshot for the milestones channel. And then, right as he was about to get there, Maxine, the troll that they are, just went and threw like a barrage of bricks so that it wasn't a clean 10,000. I thought that was funny. Response to freaks, not wrong, dude. That server are psychotic. Yep, but all super nice people. Gotta say, ow, all super nice people. I show up. I'm like, hey, I'm going to build an evil empire, and I am going to outlaw nudity in all of its forms. And most people like, oh, okay, you're very new. Here's a stack of diamonds to get started. Here's a stack of golden carrots so you don't die. Oh, you needed some iron to fuel your massive ecological disaster of a kelp farm. Here is iron. So yeah, those people, I think it was, who was it? It was Bats, it was Bimbo, it was Amber. Yep, when I rule the server, they'll be fine. Maybe I'll make like a lewd nature preserve, and the people that helped me build my empire, they get put in there. Like how people put like wild animals in like little nature reserves. Yeah. Best 1,000 channel points I ever spent. Honestly, I agree. Hold on, I need to fill my bottle. I usually keep 2 bottles with me. So, also, I just realized, do I have stream streaks? That's new. But I'm going to adventure so I can inflict a scarlet rot and bleed. I think that's one of the things that made me curious about Elden Ring is it's open world, right? And you can kind of just level yourself up however you want. So I'm like, interesting. So I don't know if you guys can hear the water. I have the noise filters on OBS. I remember on like a Discord, I was on a Discord call and I was filling it up, and everyone just hears like the splashing of water as I pour it into my nice sports bottle. If I remember correctly, Twitch forced all streamers to turn on stream streaks recently. Um, it was a feature that was being tested for ages, and I personally would have turned it on, but it was only like a select few that actually had it active. I think you get like the channel points as if there were streaks either way. But yeah, I looked into it. I'm like, how do I turn this on? Then I saw, oh, it was like in its testing phase, so only like a few channels had it. And yeah, I guess they're done with testing. So honestly, I don't mind. It's basically like people showing up for what's it called? Yeah, it's like people showing up for like the dailies and stuff. So yeah, I don't see it as a bad thing. Hmm. I can't imagine. Would someone even want to turn it off? Like, what's the harm? Maybe, maybe someone would be like, oh, maybe they don't want to. How do you say this? Maybe they don't want to promote individuality in a stream, if that makes sense. A few streamers I watch hate it because then some viewers feel an obligation to watch stream and feel bad if they lose the streak. That is exactly why they put it, because now they want people to tune in more and more. Like, is there an actual consequence to missing stream? No. But people see number and monkey brain go, I want number go up. Because I am like, that's actually why I stopped using like Snapchat way back in the day. Because I realized I had like streaks with friends. This is like ancient times, right? When I used to use the app, I'd have like streaks and stuff, and then I wouldn't even have anything to send, so I just send like a blank image or like my floor or whatever, just so that the streak is preserved. And then eventually I realized I am chained to this obligation, and some of the people I no longer even talk to, and I was like, but I have streaks with them for like 2+ years. In the end, I was like, you know what? No, this is not enriching my life. Uninstalled the app, all my streaks died, and never used it since. Until I think like a couple months ago, one of my friends wanted to like have the streaks because I used it temporarily for something. And then I had that one streak with that one friend, and I'm like, if this streak dies, I'm uninstalling the app. So, but yeah, like James said, gotcha games have the daily sign in bonus so that, people just keep coming back. Even if there's like nothing to do, people just hop on, they do the daily, maybe get distracted with like a little bit of gameplay, and then they leave. So, yeah. I never considered that, viewers would like feel the obligation and. Okay, I would understand if the viewers hated because then they feel the obligation. Hmm. Huh. I wouldn't know why the streamer wouldn't like it. Because at the end of the day, that obligation aids the streamer in a corporate mind controlling way, if that makes sense. Could make the streamer feel like they're manipulating chat. You know what? Understandable. Maxine says, one time I had 160 something streak on a streamer. One night I was mid making out with my partner, and behind their back, I grabbed my phone and opened the stream to maintain my streak. That is crazy. If it gets to that point, probably kill the streak intentionally so that you don't feel that anymore. If I find something is like addictive and like pulling my attention more than it should, I kill it so that I don't feel that. I let that streak die. Hmm. But I never, yeah, I never considered the whole making the streamer feel like, they manipulate chat. I think the closest thing that I could imagine, right, was, people would kind of feel maybe a bit entitled if they're like, oh, I am someone who has like a 2 year streak. So, like, and oh, this person has like 3 day streak. I am clearly a more dedicated fan. So, because I have seen like some people, like, they actually have to write in the rules. Like, it doesn't matter what your badge is. Like, if you're a 1 month subscriber or 2 month subscriber, whatever, like, everyone is treated equally. No one is above the rules. So I've seen like that in enough rules to think like maybe this has happened occasionally. I personally, mm, hmm, not gonna lie for viewers like that. Yeah, I think you should make like you should like mention it. It's not worth having around. To be fair, a lot of the times when someone is has like behavior like that, it's not really like, oh, they are like maybe awful or mean or whatever, or snobbish is the word I'm looking for, right? I think usually it's what's a good way of putting it? They're overexcited, right? Like scenes follow age 2 months. Where is that command from? Is that a Twitch thing? It's not streamer bot. I think I turned that off. Sorry, not streamer bot. Stream elements. From whatever bot is using your account. That's streamer bot. And I do not have a follow age. Okay, I do have stream elements. I think that's an automatic Twitch thing. Because I would turn it off. But yeah, I've never had any issue like that. Yeah, Stream Elements does it, but I basically turned off all of Stream Elements' default commands, and then I only have the ones that I custom made. The only similar experience that I have is with like the bricks thrown in headpads. Excuse me. Right. So before, if someone would throw a brick, it would be like, oh, um, throw a brick or head pat. It'll be like, this is the total amount, and this individual has thrown this much, right? Or has given these many head pats. So what I realized was, when people redeem it, they see their name, they see number go up. And that's when the monkey brain kicks in and goes, ooh, number go up, new high score, want more. And it ended up being like a lot of spam of, just spamming like the headpad, spamming the bricks. And it's not like a bad thing or like any rules were broken or anyone even did anything wrong. It was just, I didn't like it because then the chat ended up just being flooded with this person redeemed this thing. So I just switched it to, just total amount. And yeah, it got spammed a little less. So when people throw the bricks or, do the headpad redeem, they only do it when they want to throw a brick or headpad, not because they want the number to go up, if that makes sense. So yeah. That's the only experience of any similar thing that I've had. So like I'm trying to figure out like why would someone not want this or make them hate like the streak thing. So yeah, that's like the only thing that I have some experience with. Like some people might see it, they might, wear it with a bit too much pride, you know. There's nothing wrong with being like, oh my God, I've been here for 2 years, right? Every single stream, a pat on back. Nothing wrong with that. But if you know, if someone uses it as a way of like, oh, I've been here, this gives me certain privileges, I don't think that's a good thing. We've never had that problem here. So far, basically everyone is well behaved, so yeah. I want to see where this follow age comes from. Hmm. I'm seeing it's on Nightbot and all of that stuff, but I don't remove any of them. So I don't have, sorry, I was reading and speaking. I don't have Nightbot. I only have StreamerBot, which doesn't have follow age. As I said, chat feels bad when they lose a streak, so the streamer hates it because chat can feel bad if they lose it. Honestly, understandable. How would you, as a streamer, cause people to lose? You know what I would do? I was like, oh, okay. Uh, we can't remove the streak. So what I'm gonna do is randomly go live for 5 seconds and then end the stream, and then do that again, maybe 30 minutes later, and then end the stream and then delete the VODs so everyone's streak gets broken and no one can fix it. Maybe it's built into StreamerBot and can't turn it off. Honestly, probably, yeah. Anyway, it's not an issue. I was just curious. For this says wouldn't work. Why not? Ow. Minimum time for streak to matter is 30 minutes. You have to delete all your clips too. Joke's on you. I barely have any. All my clips are like edited videos that are posted on other platforms rather than Twitch clips. Oh, right. We were supposed to be doing art today. Anyway, we've made a lot of progress. It's fine. The hardest part I was thinking is how to like make it 3D. But that turned out to be a lot easier than we thought. So, speaking of clips, wait, I was explaining it again. For the week you hear, I was talking about Hotshack and the bot that he made to go through the VODs to find like interesting moments that could potentially be turned into clips. If you're live for 5 minutes, it wouldn't end their streaks. The minimum is 30 minutes before ending a streak is a thing. Understandable. Because I guess if there's like connectivity issues, someone might like disconnect and reconnect several times. Because that happened to me, right? I think it was a few days ago, maybe a week ago. We were having issues with like the stream and its connectivity. That was around the time Twitch started dropping servers. And yeah, I think I was still on one, which is like really far away. So what ended up happening is it disconnected me from the stream, and then it reconnected, and it basically broke up the VOD into like 7 different pieces, and I think like a few of them were like 5 minutes. So if that happens, it would accidentally kill everyone's streak, and for those who want it, that could be a disaster. So yeah, minimum 30 minutes makes sense. Honestly, could probably do the same thing. Maybe make like a 30-minute stream, title it, whoever joins the stream is banned. But I don't know. There'll probably be a way to turn it off. Because I don't see a reason for Twitch to like keep it permanently on and not give you the option. I feel like the only time they would do that is for something like ads, and that's because ads make them money. Depends how much more watch time slash ad viewership it gets. There's a way to turn streaks off. The issue is they force it on for streamers that explicitly didn't have it on before. Oh, okay, so I think the issue is it was automatically turned on by default. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. If it's enough, they won't make it be optional. I don't think it directly affects things like watch time. Because in theory, someone could pop in, do the daily streak thing, and then leave. And Twitch makes its money if people stick around for longer, so. Nah, I think they're just incentivizing people to show up to more streams more often. That's the way I see it. Lure, good luck. My lurk message is still broken. So before one of the streamers had it, didn't like it, turned it off. Then Twitch forced it on, it was out of testing, and that pissed them off. But they could just turn it off. I don't know. Annoyed slightly makes sense, but actually angry, I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't know. I'm just a chill guy. If that happened to me and I didn't like it, I would just be like, oh, this again. Quietly go, turn off. That was annoying, and then never think about it again. You know, people are different. In fact, that's a problem that some of my friends have. They feel like I'm a bit too unbothered by things. I was gonna explain a story which I thought was funny, uh, about an example, but I'm like, I don't think there's a way to do so that doesn't risk doxing me, really. So you know what? It's fine. You'll just have to take my word for it. It was like our Overcooked stream, where I was supposed to, roleplay toxic, angry chef. I couldn't for the life of me raise my voice or anything. I had to settle for just cold, catty comments. It was fun though. Hmm. I think this is ready for rigging. Am I missing anything? I feel like this is thicker than this, but they're the same size. Optical illusion. Hold on, let me check. open up Fijian, and what did they say they wanted? Mm, okay, done. Done. Yeah, it's ready for rigging. Oh, I did forget. Hmm. So I was supposed to make this skin layer. I'm trying to rest my voice a little bit. I am feeling quite phlegmy. I don't think I'm built for the cold. I don't even think the temperature is the issue. It's the dryness. I am a tropical cat. I'm used to moisture in the air. 2 days ago, I watched a review of a Wi Fi access point that could do solid gigabit speed at 60 meters away with 40 or so people already connected to it, which is insane. Where can I buy that? I'm gonna be honest, 300 Mbps, I'd probably be happy. Things was bad on the outer range. Yeah, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how fast your internet is, if the actual signal doesn't reach your phone. Which reminds me, when I was in Malaysia, this is when I was working, right? And I got my apartment, and the guy was setting up the Wi-Fi, and there was this issue with, they plug in the Wi-Fi to like the front door of the apartment, and then there's like the Ethernet port like at the center of the house, like for TV and all that stuff. That port was broken, which means they had to put the router box like in the corner of the house. And the guy was like, "Oh, this means if you're in your room on the bed, your Wi-Fi will be very slow." And at the time, I paid for 600 Mbps Wi-Fi, so he does like the test and he's like, "Oh, you see, like the internet is very slow in this corner." And he shows me 300 Mbps internet speed. And I was like, "Oh, it's okay. I don't mind." But internally, I'm like, my guy, I come from a country where 50 is like the fastest you get. And that's what we're grateful for. 300 is a blessing from above. The access point is 2 grand USD. You can't afford it. You don't know that. I am artist. We are all rolling in money. No, but what I do have is Ethernet cable, and that cost me like $10. I don't really get the obsession with like the Wi-Fi routers, which are like, oh, this is crazy fast and this and that, like for like a house, because Ethernet cables exist. And I don't know. Sure, maybe you don't like the cables running through the house, but if it saves you 2 grand, sounds like a fair deal to me. Me as a farmer would love to have that access point. But at the end of the day, your access point may be like super fast, but if your provider, doesn't even reach those speeds, then like, is there a point? Having a multi-level house makes it hard to run cables without tearing the house down. You know what my brother did? Back in our home country, what he'd do is he had like this Ethernet cable. He'd plug it into like the router, and then he'd take it out of the window, right? And he'd basically feed it along the outside of the house and then back into the window of his room. So if you're outside, you just see like this long ass cable just snaking around the house. But yeah. If you did it inside the house, my mom would complain about like tripping and all that stuff. So I care about the speed, I care about the coverage. Oh, okay, understandable. Now it's ready for rigging. Yeah, but a solid connection at 60 meters is insane. For context, the Statue of Liberty is 90 meters tall. You know what? Impressive. But then again, you'd really just need the coverage for, your phone if, you're outside. What about mobile data? Is it like expensive where you are or because usually if I'm not in the house, like I don't mind just switching to data and it works fine. I don't need like crazy internet on my phone. I don't like using mobile data. It's slow in my area. You know what? Respectable. But at the end of the day, if you're outside, I don't know. I'm just okay. When I was back home and I was trying to use things like Instagram, I would have to scroll, wait 5 seconds for like the image to load, and then see it, and then scroll. And on paper, that doesn't sound bad, but it made me realize just how much I took the internet in Malaysia for granted when I went to visit my parents. I had forgotten. Well, so I'm a massive tech nerd. I just want to get my grubby little hands on cool tech. You know what? Understandable. Speaking of tech, when I left, right, I had to cancel my internet subscription. And, they have the whole, oh, you have to cancel in like 30 days. But I was leaving in 20. I'm like, hey, can someone collect this like early? But talking to customer support there is like talking to a robot. Uh, the person is probably a normal person, but outside their job. But the moment people clock in, I've noticed in Malaysia, they basically turn to like chatbots. And I really don't like that. It is very frustrating. So I'm like, hey, can someone just collect this early? They're like, sorry, cannot. So yeah, I think I tried for like 15 minutes to explain that I'm not going to be in the country. So how am I supposed to return it? Like, they literally could just get one of their technicians to like come over and take it. But I don't know. I think their system is hard coded to like not allow anything like that. Anyway, in the end, I was like, okay, fine. I'll leave it. I'll talk to one of my neighbors. I'll leave it with them. Then, when you come to collect it, we'll organize and yada, yada, yada. All sorted. The day came. No one asked. No one reached out to me. I still had my number, right? So they could like contact me. No one reached out. No one talked to me. No one said anything. And then like weeks turned into months. And in the end, I'm like, oh, they're not going to collect this thing. And that was like a really expensive router, right? I think it was what, like $300? And I was like, huh, they're not collecting it. According to like the app, it says like, oh, my account has been closed and everything has been settled, bills have been paid, sorry to see you go, is basically like how the app was. So for all intents and purposes, like that was it. And it's like, oh, no one collected the router. And then in the end, I was like, I gave it like a few months. No one said anything. And then I randomly just texted my friend. I'm like, hey, do you want like a free, very nice router? And then I got him to go to my old apartment, met with my neighbor, collected the router, and yeah, I think it was like, I can't remember. Was it 2, 3 GB PS Wi Fi? I don't know. It was one of those really nice ones. I only know the price because I Googled it online. But yeah, I was like, if they're not going to take it, I know a friend who could use it. So all of that effort of like trying to return it to them, all for nothing. The moral of the story is be nice to me and I give you free things. I want to double check this. Yeah, it shouldn't break. It'll be fine. Okay, this thing is ready for rigging, but I don't think my voice can handle much more. It feels very dry, right? A bit phlegmy. So we are gonna call it a day here. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Hope you had a great time and hope to see you again. Bye bye. Okay, let's see. Who can we rate today? Mm, mm, mm. Okay. We can raid Lost Sailor at Sea. I popped into the stream once. They're the ones who got like the little ball, a seal, a mask on. I don't think there's time to like pull it up. Wait, hold on. Yes, there is. Mm, is there actually? Yeah, this one. So anyway, they're live now, so we'll raid into them. Hold on, let me switch back to my model before I forget. Okay, so bye-bye everyone.